Good morning, everyone. It's day 54. Hard to believe it's been 54 days. And we are in one of the prettiest campsites that we have stayed in yet. I love it. Wish it was all like this. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. It is daylight and we are hiking. So, despite our dedication to night hiking here over the past, almost a week, it's 7 o'clock in the morning and we're trying to get a few miles in before the sun heats up and drive this into the shade. Just to recap, last night, since I think it was probably ended a little abruptly, our plan was to hike about 8 miles last night, and we actually only ended up hiking about 6. We came upon this beautiful saddle that we're in right now, and it was so open and clear and pretty. Plus, even better, I had a cell phone signal. So that allowed me to upload my most recent video, which hopefully you guys are all anxiously waiting for. The family, they left, as you remember, they left our campsite yesterday about midday, and they were trying to hike, I think, 8 miles as well. But we heard from them, they only made 4 miles after leaving our camp because it was so hot. And their plan was to get up at 3 a.m. this morning and continue their hike. We actually did pass their camp last night about 10 o'clock, I guess. We didn't disturb them because we knew they wanted to sleep. So presumably, if they did get up at 3 a.m. and start hiking, they would have passed us sometime before we woke up this morning. So I assume they're out ahead of us somewhere. Nevertheless, it's very pleasant right now. There's a light breeze. Temperature's perfect. So we're going to try to get as many miles in as we can before the day heats up too much. There's Goldilocks looking bright and sunny for a morning hike. Just wanted to give you a quick view. I know I don't like scenic shots, but this is pretty amazing out here. There's a city down there. The lights were bright last night. No idea what city it is. I should probably look that up and let you guys know. Also a lake right there, I think. Maybe there's a lake. Looks like a dam of some kind, reservoir. Anyway, all the way out there, we're on top of the world right now. So awesome. Hope we stay up high and hike like this for a while. Well, I may be a little bit prejudiced, or maybe just have a short memory, but I think I might have to vote this particular stretch of trail as the prettiest so far. It's almost park-like. I've got low grass growing here, ponderosa pines, giant ones, all spread out. Here's another nice patch of overgrown trail. I thought I'd reverse the camera here so you can see what this nasty stuff looks like in the daylight. Okay, and here we go. You can barely see the trail underneath me. And this stuff is pretty darn scratchy, so I feel like I should be wearing motorcycle leathers as I walk through here. Okay. Well, actually, it's not nearly as bad as I expected. I've seen patches a lot worse than this one, but still, on bare legs, after a while, this stuff starts to take its toll. Yikes. Another thing that concerns me is when you can't see the trail at your feet. If there were a big fat rattlesnake laying there in the trail, I'd probably step on it before I ever saw it. This must be an old sign. It says Mount Pacifico left and PC 2000 to the right. I guess that was before they started calling it the Pacific Crest Trail. Okay. Yep. Goldilocks broke the sign, so better not let the Forest Service see you. Well, I am no arborist, but my amateur guess is this tree died from smallpox. I didn't know trees could get smallpox, but I'll give you guys a break from all this beautiful scenery in order to share some of my thoughts with you guys. I'm sure you're anxious to hear what's inside this giant brain of mine. I thought an interesting topic for you guys might be wildlife out here on the PCT, specifically dangerous wildlife.
Lions and tigers and bears.
So early on when we were planning this trip, and I'm sure that this is something that many of you watching this can relate to, one of the first questions we got from people when we said we're going to hike Pacific Crest Trail was, well, you're going to take a gun with you, aren't you? How are you going to protect yourself from all those wild animals? Well, to start with, no, we did not bring a gun with us. For the couple of reasons. One being guns are heavier than hell, but two, we don't need a gun out here. There are no dangerous animals, or at least statistically not dangerous enough to warrant having to pack a giant hog leg. Let's start at the top of the predator food chain and everybody's favorite, the cougar, or mountain lion, whatever you want to call it. As you can tell from watching my videos, there are tons of mountain lions out here. There's at least one in every video, right? Yeah, I hope you guys don't actually believe I took those pictures. But in reality though, a cougar is, although obviously quite capable of attacking and killing a hiker, the reality is they almost never do so. I think there have been like 10 mountain lion attacks or deaths in California in like 50 years. And the reason is simple. Humans / hikers are not the natural prey of mountain lions. And in reality, they're actually extremely secretive and shy animals. I've heard wildlife experts say that a statistic that I believe is true, that for every one cougar you see in the wild, there are 99 that see you. My personal experience, the lifetime of outdoors pretty much confirms that. In all the years I've been outdoors as an avid backpacker, hiker, hunter, fisherman, I've only actually seen 3 cougars. And although I've seen countless cougar tracks, cougar droppings, I've even come upon cougar kills deer that had been killed by a cougar and then had brush piled up on top of it to try and keep other predators and scavengers away. So next on the predator list, or the scary animal list, are bears. And statistically, bears are a lot more threat to a hiker than a cougar, or really any other animal you're likely to encounter on the PCT.
Bears have been known to attack man, although the fact is that fewer people have been killed by bears than in all of World War I and World War II combined.
But I've had, God, I don't know, hundreds of bear encounters over the years, and never one where I felt like I was genuinely in danger. As long as I alerted the bear of my presence early enough, they would almost always back off, or at the very least ignored me, and I let them walk by. I should probably talk about two different kinds of bears. They're the bears you encounter in the wilderness, which are unaccustomed to people and therefore have a natural fear of humans and are very shy and retiring. Obviously those bears present minimal threat unless you were to surprise them at close range or perhaps encounter a bear with cubs. The second kind of bear, the one that I'm most concerned about, is the habituated bear. These are the kind that hang around areas like, Yosemite Park, for example. They're used to being around people. They've lost all their natural fear. Plus, they've come to associate humans with food. And that makes for a dangerous combination. So I'm going to be extremely careful in areas like that. Any bears I see, I'm going to give a very wide berth. And I would say that I don't think bears are enough of a concern to worry about carrying like bear spray or something like that. If I were hiking on the Continental Divide Trail, where I was likely to encounter a grizzly bear, that would be a different situation. But black bears, in my opinion, aren't really anything to be afraid of. Next on the list would be coyotes and bobcats. Neither of those are even remotely a threat to a hiker, unless, now talk about a threat to a hiker. Let me see if I can get across this without killing myself. Holy cow. Let me pause the camera real quick. Okay. Try and walk out of the picture. Well, why not? You're here. Okay. I am standing here with Bill, a day hiker that we just ran into on the trail. And here's a little bit of trivia for some of you who don't know it. I'm kind of a small watch collector. Love sport watches, dive watches. And Bill here recognized the watch on my wrist, the Citizen Tough model, and turns out he recognized it because he actually works for Citizen as the Citizen. He's wearing a Citizen watch, my Citizen watch. He's the U.S. distributor here for Citizen watches. So what are the odds I'd run into a fellow watch guy who's actually wearing the same watch, almost same watch I am.
That's right.
Right here in the middle of the wilderness.
That's right.
So it's a small world. All right, thanks, Bill.
Take care, buddy.
Okay, after that brief interruption to navigate an obstacle course, let me get back to what I was talking about, which I think was, I left off at bobcats and coyotes. And again, those are no threat to, I mean, unless you're a French poodle or a house cat, they're no danger to you. I suppose, ran into a coyote with rabies, different story, but that's about a 1 in a trillion chance. A lot more things to worry about than that. And the only other thing that you're concerned about or worried about here, wildlife-wise on the trail, are rattlesnakes. And honestly, I think those are the most realistic things you need to worry about, simply because if you're not watching out for them, it could be easy to step on one. But as you've seen from previous videos, I hope you've been watching all my videos, you can see that most of the snakes that we've seen have either been, rattlesnakes I should say, have been very docile. They just move out of the way when you give them a chance. Or at the very least, they'll rattle at you and let you know they're there before you step on them. Now, obviously, you know, accidents can still happen, but if you're reasonably careful, you should be fine. I can't even remember the last time I heard about a hiker being bit by a rattlesnake. So anyway, that kind of sums up my wildlife analysis of the PCT, or I should say maybe dangerous wildlife analysis. So really nothing to worry about. You're in far more danger of slipping and falling off a mountain, or drowning in a stream, or getting hit by lightning, or any number of other things than you are from wildlife. Goldilocks and I are here taking a short break from hiking. Got a piece of shade here. Really beautiful views out over the desert way down below us, which is unfortunately the direction that we are heading. So we have to enjoy this nice beautiful shade as long as it lasts, because if you see that hillside off in the distance there, no trees. So I think we're going to get hot really soon. But while I'm here, I thought I'd do a quick little product review that you guys might be interested in. This is my headlamp. Actually, Goldilocks and I have the exact same headlamp, the Thia. And we have been night hiking, as you know, for the past 4 or 5 nights. And this little headlamp has been powering through the whole time without a hitch. It has rechargeable batteries. Let me see if I can. Okay. Here's whoop. That was graceful. This is the rechargeable battery right here. And we've been wearing it anywhere between 5 to 6 hours per night. We usually hike on the medium mode, which I think is 100 lumens. Not 100% sure, but sounds about right. Anyway, more than bright enough for us to see the trail as we're hiking down it. And after 5 to 6 hours, the light is still as bright as when we first started. So any of you hikers looking for a good, reliable headlamp, I don't think you can do any better than this Thia. Well, 11 a.m. temperature is scorching. Man, we still have about almost an hour to go to get to our destination for the day, where hopefully there will be both shade and water. But not sure how much more I'm going to film, because You guys don't want to watch me sweat or complain about how hot it is. So I'll wait until it cools off. Made it to the Mill Creek Fire Station at mile 418. The restroom up there, picnic table. There's supposed to be a water spigot here somewhere. We need to go find that. I think the fire station's down that way, so. Oh, water's up there. Awesome. Thank God for trail runners that keep us straight. So this is, according to Gut Hook, this is the last water for 26 miles. So we are going to have to do some serious cameling up here to make sure we have enough water to carry us through the desert. And get ready for a lot more night hiking tonight. Woo! Here we go. Every hiker's favorite best friend. Water. All right. Get some water, and then next order of business, shade. Shade in the back side of the bathroom. I guess better than nothing. Yeah, that'll work. At least it's out of the sun. Everybody say hi to the camera.
Oh, you've got it on, huh?
Yeah, I got it running. Sitting in the shade under the awning of the Mill Creek Fire Station. Is that right, Mill Creek?
Yeah, Mill Creek Fire
I can't
Station.
believe I remembered it. So, 1 o'clock, sitting here and waiting for the sun to go down so we can hike some more.
Yep.
Where are you going?
Just following that black.
A black string, she might be able to get a hold
She'll
of.
pull that.
Oh.
She totally will pull.
Okay, we're about 6:30 in the evening right now, and this is where we spent pretty much the entire afternoon from about noon inside this, what do you call this, a pergola? An awning or something? Underneath the fire department here at Mill Creek Fire Station, which, as far as we can tell, is abandoned because we haven't seen anybody here all day long to come chase us off. But so these guys are just eating dinner. We just finished our Thanksgiving dinner. Yum. And we'll be hitting the trail here very shortly, so you can see more footage of me showing nothing but darkness and the occasional maybe night bug or something.
Rough
Hey.
on.
You guys are everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody smile up, okay?
I smelled it. I smelled pot. I was thinking,
Where?
somebody's smoking pot around here. And then I thought, oh wait, no, poodle dog bush.
Wow.
Sure enough, turned around.
We're-
there's poodle dog bush right there.
There's a
It's almost 7:30 now, and we're
Yeah.
heading out to the trail. The sun is down.
I almost sent you a message saying,
So-
watch out for the poodle dog bush. There's a lot of it right on the trail. He's trying to make a video.
I tried to make a video, and you're just blabbing away.
Poodle dog bush or not.
Okay. Everybody say hi.
Uh-huh.
Hi. Hi.
Marching off into the darkness. We're 26 miles from.
Acton.
She did. I just
Okay, we're 26 miles from Acton. We might be able to knock that in half tonight if the coffee doesn't wear out first. But our goal is to get there in 2 days. So 26 miles in 2 days. Easily doable for people younger who don't have to hike in the heat of the day. For any future hikers that just want you to know, expect a very steep climb coming out of Mill Creek Fire Station. I think we gained 500 feet in the first quarter of a mile. Whew, that was a tough climb. Thankfully we're up on top now, and I think things are flattening out. The trail that we're hiking tonight is some of the worst that we've encountered yet. The whole trail is just extremely overgrown. It's very narrow. I forget how many trees we've had to climb across that have fallen over the road. Or, I'm sorry, fallen over the trail. And many of them are extremely difficult to climb over. And This brush we're going through now, very typical. So it's quite exhausting. It's almost 11 o'clock. We've been hiking now for, oh, damn it. We've been hiking now for 4.5 hours. We actually had intended to hike longer tonight, till at least midnight. Oh, here's a rare open stretch, amazing. As I was saying, we intended to hike till at least midnight, but quite frankly, we are worn out. This trail has just beat us to death. So there's supposed to be a campsite about 10 minutes ahead, and we're just gonna put up our tent and crash there for the night. In the meantime, here comes some more brush. Man, as I said, this stuff is just not only hard to push through, but it's just shredding arms, legs, face. Physically exhausting to have to push through it. If the PCTA doesn't get some trail maintenance out here this year to clean this up, this trail will be completely impassable by next hiking season. There's just no way people are going to be able to get through it after another year of growth of this stuff. All right, 10 after 11. This is the spot where we're going to try and put our tent. All right, barely big enough to fit, but at this point, really don't care.